just got done mowing the lawn, so oh my god, am I tired. So, but it's Tuesday. I want to make sure I got a live stream in because I got more books, more books, more books. I don't know why I keep buying books. I really don't. After, if you guys watch my Sunday live feed, I got that whole tote bag of half price book stuff. So still got all that to figure out what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to resell and all that stuff. But nonetheless, I'll go ahead and get into the pickups because I'm sure there's most of you guys will be watching this on the rewind since everyone discovered that, you know, Tuesday's live show day. So I actually hit the road last Wednesday. Went to Greenwood, Indiana, a place called Comic Book University. If you guys like are in that area and love collecting variant covers and, you know, B covers, that type of stuff, that is a phenomenal place to go. So I went there kind of just I wanted to get some variants for Fantastic Four #1. That, and I needed to just pick up some stuff that my local shop didn't get for whatever reason, just because they under ordered or what have you. So basically, I ended up getting this whole stack because it's just stuff I needed to catch up on, or just some cool variant covers and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the stack. Hey, what's going on, Wolf Blitz? Thanks for making it, man. And in some of this I haven't had time to read yet. I apologize. So with that being said, the first one I got is Death or Glory #4. I'm actually behind on this. I need to read issues 3 and 4, but issues 1 and 2 are really good. So hopefully 3 and 4 are just that. Same thing for Sandman Universe. Ended up picking up the David Mack cover because I thought it was the coolest one. Luckily, that Comics University shop had pretty much the full spread of Sandman Universe variants. So pretty big fan of the original Neil Gaiman run. So I figured this was essential reading to pick up. So I went ahead and decided to get that. Had to at least get this Art Germ variant, the Sue Richards Art Germ. Didn't get the full set. I wasn't going to spend $6 a pop times 4. So I did end up getting another variant I'll show here in a second, but at least had to have the Sue Richards one. That's the one I've been eyeballing the most, wanting to get. So I thought that was really nice. And I'll get in a review here in a second of that. I'm going to show my other cover. Decided to get Infinity Wars #1. There was a lot of hype around this. Obviously, it's the Marvel Summer Event book. And who doesn't love another story about the Infinity Stones? So I may end up getting this whole thing just because I recently this summer I've been a sucker for anything Infinity Stone related. Like before Infinity War came out, the movie, which I think is the best comic book movie of all time, by the way. I can say that review for another time, but I ended up reading Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, and Infinity Crusade. Like I just binge read them all on Marvel Unlimited, and I loved Infinity Gauntlet. Like it was amazing. Like I can't believe it took me this long to read it. The other two, especially Crusade, I was just not a fan of. But War wasn't too bad, but it was definitely not the best. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Infinity Wars, especially with, I guess, the new villains called Requiem. I won't get into spoilers on who Requiem is. Most of you have probably already read this and know who, but I won't spoil it here anyway. But I'm really curious to see, you know, if there's going to be Time Stone involvement or if characters are going to stay dead or what have you. But nonetheless, every time the Infinity Stones get involved in the Marvel Universe, usually the stories get pretty interesting. So I might keep picking this up. We'll see. It'll be a little tough though. I think this one was like $6 a cover. Oof, I don't know about that. Wolflet says they are selling the Invisible Woman at $20 at my LCS. Dang, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, the reason I hit the road is because I did want some of these Fantastic Four variants. Even though I don't collect tons of variants, I still like to have the best cover for the book I'm about to read. And my local shop around here, they just don't order enough to get the variants, whatever that requirement is. So I pretty much anticipated that. So I had the last Wednesday off. I'm like, I'm just going to drive an hour, do some shopping. So that's what I did. I had to spend like $60 at this one shop. Next up, decided to get Amazing Spider-Man #3. Actually, this has gotten a lot better than the first issue, I thought. I got issue 2 at half price books, which I'll get into that in a few. But it looks like, I don't know if you guys watch my channel, you could probably tell I'm a kind of a big Buffy mark. And in this, they've kind of ripped off that storyline where Xandra gets split into 2 different personalities. So that happened at the end of issue 2, where Peter Parker and Spider-Man are now two different entities. So just the fact that something is similar or is ripped off Buffy it's piqued my interest. So I'll probably keep getting Spider-Man. So pretty cool read there. What's up, Joker M21? Thanks for making it, man. Next up, got Farmhand, #2. Another good read. I like the first page where it shows our main character. He's like going through life, and it just shows him constantly being disappointed in things, and it's actually kind of comical. But Farmhand continues to be a solid read. I highly recommend it, especially if you guys like Chew. Rob Gilroy is actually showing he has some writing chops too. So don't want to spoil too much more about Farmhand 2, but this book is living up to the hype for me so far. So definitely pick Farmhand up if you guys still have issue 1s at your local shops. Can't recommend this enough. It might be my favorite independent series going right now. What's up, Big E's? How's it going, man? Thanks for making it. Got the New York Warriors in the house. Next up, another good imagery has been Analog, and this one, our main character, he basically gets drawn to, I believe, Japan, if I remember correctly. Sorry, it's been probably about 6 days since I read most of these. And there's like artificial life there that wants to meet the guy who more or less killed the internet. And it's actually kind of comical in this issue because he just decides to see how far and crazy he can go, making fun of the AI and acknowledging the fact that they're artificial intelligence, and the Asian people get so mad at him they banned him from Japan by the end of this. So another pretty funny read from Jerry Duggan. Analog's been pretty solid so far. So if you guys are looking for a good image read, I also recommend Analog. What's up, Roman Curtis? How's it going, man? Next up, I think this might be my favorite read of the summer so far. And like I said earlier, I'm a little bit of a Buffy mark. I got Buffy the Reckoning issue 2 finally this week. I know I'm a little bit behind on this, but my local shop has finally started ordering this for me since I was a little late to the ball game. But man, if you guys like Buffy or Angel, this book is phenomenal. Basically, in my past streams, I've called it like Buffy on Infinite Earths. They're really throwing every character that is not dead or what have you into the storyline. Like you've got, just on the cover, you've got Frey, Illyria, Angel, Giles, and then you got Faith involved in there. This one, they go to Frey's future to try to figure out how to defeat Hearth, which is Frey's twin brother who has the memories of all the Slayers. So he goes back in time, meets up with the snake dragon / bear from the end of season 3, who's somehow still alive. And they have teamed up to try to defeat Buffy and pretty much her army. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to take on Hearth, because Hearth knows every move they're going to make, including like by the time they go to the future and then go back to the past, Hearth already knows everything that's going to happen and is happening now. So like I said, as a reader, I'm like, Buffy, just go sit on a couch and let somebody else do all the work. Let Willow do something. So very awesome read so far. Like I said, I know I'm probably a little bit of a mark when it comes to Buffy, but man, this has been a fun read. So if you guys like Buffy at all, especially like if you read the season 8 run, this is very much in continuity with season 8 in terms of Joss Whedon. I guess, sorry, I'm holding books, so I can't really do my air quotes, but executively producing the Buffy comics. Definitely check this out if you guys like Joss Whedon's work. All right, Big E says, I loved Angel. I have all the hardcovers of Angel after the fall. Maybe I'll do a video showcasing them. Yeah, that was a good run, man. Actually, when those came out, I was buying they had like the retailer incentive variant covers. My shop at the time was selling them for like maybe $1 or $2 over cover. So I have like the first 10 issues, all the retailer incentives of that. Actually, on my wall up here, I have issue 1 signed by Tony Harris, the Virgin variant. I think the Angel one, the one with Spike on it, just some phenomenal Tony Harris covers. Another underrated run. So I absolutely love that Angel after the fall run. So good call out, Biggies. Next up, I think I saw this. I can't remember if it was like Comic Vantage or Cat Run Figures channel. But I picked this up on community recommendation, The Seeds, from David Aja and Ando Sinti. Pretty awesome read, actually. I like David Aja's work on Hawkeye that he did with Matt Fraction. So just seeing that he was on this book very much interested me. So basically in this book, you have like 2 different realms separated by a wall. You have like kind of like our world now, where you're very much engraved in technology. And there's supervision and all that kind of crazy stuff everywhere. And then on the other side of the wall, which you really don't see too much in issue 1, that's the Luddite side. So basically what Luddite means is people who fear or don't like technology. That's what's going on the other side of the wall. So without spoiling the ending of this, like you kind of see who's influencing the two sides of the wall, and that there's kind of a greater conspiracy that's being uncovered by one of the main characters, which is kind of like a photographer slash reporter. So I might add this to my pull list. This is I've been looking to try to get into Dark Horse a little bit more, just because I try to diversify my reads a little bit, because I don't really collect Marvel, DC, and Image. So I definitely want to spread my pulls into Dark Horse, because you got Buffy and now you got the Seeds. So hopefully I can get this on my pull list and get a couple more issues out of that. So I very much enjoyed that and recommend it. Next up, luckily they had a copy of Shanghai Red #2. Like I said, the issue 1 was so good. If you guys haven't checked that out, I highly recommend it. This one was a solid follow-up. Basically, our main character finally makes it to her house where her family stayed after, before she got shanghaied onto this pirate boat. Of course, her family has moved on. So she's just trying to, put all the puzzle pieces together, figure out where her family's at. Meanwhile, she's trying to get revenge on all of the people who are responsible for her being shanghaied onto the slave labor boat. So if you guys are basically, if you like Kill Bill Volume 1, I highly recommend Shanghai Red. I could imagine like Uma Thurman in the mid-2000s playing this character if it was like a movie or a TV show. So if you guys like this like revenge thriller type thing with a strong female lead, absolutely check out Shanghai Red. Issue 2 also was a solid read, so can't recommend that one enough. All right, so finally got Fantastic Four. This is probably my cover of the week. The Jack Kirby, God, I'm tired. Sorry, mowing your lawn takes it out of you. The Jack Kirby vertical or horizontal cover, I guess, if you will. This is my favorite cover of the week. In terms of what I thought about Fantastic Four, I thought it was all right. I know a lot of people in the community really, really enjoyed it. I thought it would have been a good ending to Marvel 2-in-1, or just some sort of special to bridge the two. I really wish Fantastic Four #1 was them finally getting together. But I mean, with that being said, it was still like it hit good on all the emotional points. The Thing and Human Torch were very good in it. Obviously, I would have loved to see more of the Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic. But at least the last panel, the Scotty Young insert at the end, at least it kind of guaranteed like pick up issue 2, and you're not going to be disappointed. They're finally going to get back together. So I guess sorry spoilers, but even though obviously they're going to get back together, it's called Fantastic Four. So I guess kind of minor spoilers. They like more or less Thing and Human Torch think that the whole rest of the family's just gone after Secret Wars. So at the end, you see like this big four arrive over Earth. So that's finally the signal that the family's alive. But my question is, that the last couple panels, you at least see Reed and Sue. Where are the kids? Like, I'm wondering if that's going to be the main focus of the first storyline after they all the main four get together, or if Valeria and Franklin are off doing their own thing and they're gonna have to go find them, or if they're in danger or something. Oh yeah, Joker M21 also says that the Doom short story is very good. Yeah, I agree. I'm very curious to see where they're going with Doom. Obviously, for me, Doom is a very strong point in terms of a good solid Fantastic Four story. My favorite Fantastic Four story of all time. I know it's not like an old one or anything, but it was that Mark Waid Irredeemable storyline where Doctor Doom uses both the power of science and the power of magic to basically just annihilate the Fantastic Four. Like, he banishes Mr. Fantastic to hell. It takes Doctor Strange and the power of Franklin Richards to finally figure out how to get the family back and fight Doctor Doom. So I absolutely hope that Doctor Doom continues to be the main villain in this, which obviously it's Doctor Doom is Fantastic Four. It's bread and butter. That's what's going to happen. All right, looks like we had Nice Cover Bro Joyce. What's up, Nice Cover Bro? Thanks for making it, man. Who Dat Comics and Movies? How's it going, man? Thanks for making it. Next up, got Cosmic Ghost Rider #2. I don't know about this one. Like I said, I enjoyed the first issue well enough. I decided to get this one since they just happen to have this variant cover. Looks like the way they're going, they're going to have Cosmic Ghost Rider and I guess Baby Thanos kind of team up for a minute. And then Galactus is involved in all this. And he's like, this is where you make the biggest mistake in human history by trying to save Baby Thanos or something. So I guess we'll see where this goes, but I might be checking out after this issue. It was all right, but for $4 or $5 price tags, I'm probably just gonna wait for a trade or something like that at this point. But that's still a decent read, I guess. Next up, decided to check out Catwoman. At least had the cool art germ cover, so I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed the first issue well enough. At the very least, Joelle Jones's art in this is just phenomenal. So if nothing else, you get a cool cover, but also the art on the interior is really good too from Joelle Jones. The story was so-so, like kind of like Cosmic Ghost Rider. I might wait for a trade or some sort of digital collection to start rereading this again. It didn't really do a lot for me, I'll be honest. So, but nonetheless, Joelle Jones is killing it on the art. So we'll see where they go with that. Decided to pick up Death of the Inhumans #2. Once again, another killer Donny Cates title that everyone's been hyping up in the community. Once again, more crazy death and action. I'll be honest, I'm more, as you can kind of tell by everything I talk about on this channel and everything on my walls, I've always been a little bit more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy. My Marvel mainstays are Spider-Man, X-Men, the very basics. So when it comes to like Inhumans, I've never been a big Inhumans guy. So in terms of all of the characters and stuff, I know the very basics. So to see them get killed off, I really have not a lot of emotional attachment, I'll be honest. But nonetheless, like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this book. So this keeps piquing my interest depending on, it's just crazy who they keep wanting to kill off and everything. And it really is the death of the Inhumans. So I guess, it's all in the title. So there we go. Next up, head to cave and get this cool variant. I've got the Life of Captain Marvel art germ variant. My store is running this at $10 locally here, so to get this for cover price that other store, I went ahead and just caved and got it. So if nothing else, very cool art germ variant. I think it's one of his better ones lately, so I thought that was cool. Decided to pick up Fathom #2. Saya Ohm has actually been recently announced to go to Cincinnati Comic Expo, so I figured if I'm going to meet her, I might as well have something to get signed. So I decided to pick. I have #1. Figure I'd get #2, and she continues, especially in the art department, to knock it out of the park. Like I don't know if she was trained by Michael Turner or something like that, or if that was just her basis for learning art. But she's like the reincarnation of Michael Turner when it comes to the pencils. It's super impressive the way she's been able to make Fathom look like Michael Turner's Fathom. So all the credit in the world to Saya Ohm. Cool stuff going on in this book, especially art-wise. Picked up Leviathan #1, the new John Layman book. So love Chew. Rob Guillory's been killing Farmhand, so I had to check out John Layman and his new book Leviathan. So if you guys like kaijus and the idea of Godzilla and that type of stuff, with a little bit of humor mixed in, not a lot, like especially if you compare it to Chew, there's not tons of humor. There's a little bit there, especially you could see how the Leviathan gets summoned. So solid read, not an insanely eventful #1. It's very basic point A to point B read, I would say, in terms of like, here's the Leviathan, here's how we got the Leviathan, here's what's happening now. It's pretty much all that happens in #1. So we'll see where they go in #2. Kind of already a shocking death in this book. So I'm really curious to see how long this one's going to go on for, if they keep up that pace. So solid read nonetheless. I enjoyed it. Picked up Justice League #5. Cool Lex Luthor and Legion of Doom standalone story. So this was actually written by James Tynion instead of Scott Snyder, which he's always a really good fill-in for Scott Snyder, and this is no exception. So Justice League, in terms of DC books I've been getting, this is by far the best DC book I think I've been getting. So I'm going to stay on board for as long as Snyder and Tynion are on there. So another solid read. Doug Mahnke does the art on this, and he kills it like he did on the Green Lantern Jeff Johns run. So I was kind of happy to see him over, I think, Jorge Jimenez. Sorry. I think Jorge Jimenez did the last 2 issues, and his art wasn't the best. It was serviceable, but I think Doug Mahnke, I wish I would have saw him on more of those past issues. But another solid read. Then the last one, just kind of saw it sitting on the shelf. It's a reprint of G.I. Joe #1. Just a cool IDW anniversary edition. So a nice little glossy, kind of 90s-ified cover there. So I was like, yeah, why not? Cool cover. Reprint G.I. Joe #1 never hurt anybody. So there's that. Excuse me one second. And Toast to you guys. Happy Oktoberfest. All right. Next thing I wanted to show. Got a nice lot in the mail this week. I guess this week's auction winnings. This one was from, I think, 2 weeks ago almost. I guess it hasn't been quite 2 weeks. But the Legends Live auction, Big Bears Comics was selling a nice Silver Age / Bronze Age Batman lot. And I was surprised no one was bidding on this. Like, these are some phenomenal books for, I think, I don't remember what I paid for them right now. I'm a little tired mowing the lawn, but I definitely didn't pay more than like $6 or $7 a book shipped, if I remember correctly. So you can't beat that for Silver and Bronze Age Batman. So I got issued number 375 of Detective Comics. I believe this one was credited as the first appearance, or at least first cover appearance, of the Batmobile from the 60s series. So I thought that was really nice and awesome. I absolutely love collecting these older Batmans. Like, you can't beat these in terms of, you know, Silver and Bronze Age art, especially once you start to get into the Neil Adams stuff. Like, I mean, these are like my vice lately in terms of me collecting older stuff. Also got Detective Comics 376. We start to get into some of the Neil Adams stuff here in a minute. Detective 389 with Batgirl starting to chip in there. So another awesome book right there. And this one's got a little bit of chipping on top. In terms of the condition of these are mostly mid-grade and up. So some very nice, clean, old copies of Batman. 414, awesome cover right there with Ra's al Ghul on there. So absolutely love this cover. Do I get this graded? Maybe. It's a really nice looking book. So very nice there. Then last one was 416. Once again, that Batman and Batgirl. So just absolutely love this lot. So thank you, Big Bears Comics. Recently subbed to me this week, finally. So thank you for the books and the sub. So if you guys see him on Legends Live Auction, absolutely bid with confidence. He's got some great stuff and some excellent prices. Like I said, I can't believe no one else wanted this during an auction. So considering, I guess it was a 4-hour auction, maybe I got lucky. So great lot there. Then my last lot, I went to, when I was in Greenwood, decided to stop by Half Price Books. They have one up there too. It's not the outlet store I kind of highlighted on my Sunday live stream. It's just a regular standard Half-Life books. Like I said, I'm a little tired. I apologize. But you know, they're pretty close to a comic shop, and like, hey, why not go look for comics there too? We're making a comic trip, and that's what we're gonna do. So got some nice finds there. I'll get into these last two here in a second. The reason I got Amazing Spider-Man 3, I was going to wait for some sort of trade or digital version, but they had issue 2 for $2. So I went back to my local shop this week. I just went and got issue 3 to complete, you know, issues 1, 2, and 3. So $2 for a book that came out 2 weeks ago. Hey, why not? I'll do that all day, especially on Spider-Man. Oh, looks like we got a poor man's comics joining us. He's bidding $10 on something. Who knows what he's bidding on today? And then, speaking of bidding, there's Roman Curtis, the big dog. What's up, Roman Curtis? I'll save those for a second. Oh, actually, I did. On my way up, I went into Martinsville. They had a big Walmart-sized thrift store. They have comics in there sometimes. So I got Empress #1 for $1. Main reason I got this, you guys are still bidding. This was one of the Mark Millar announced properties for a Netflix series, I guess. So I figured for $1, why not pick it up? Nothing else. I always like read Mark Millar stuff, but nothing else would be a good spec book, I'm assuming. So had to get Empress #1 when I saw it for $1. Why not? What's up, Stay Puff 1983? Thanks for making it, man. Roma is here, and we'll close it out. I was going to say, this is turning into an auction, guys. All right, back to Half Price Books. Picked this up for $1.50. I'm not really sure why. I thought Huntress looked really awesome on it. But then, like, if you notice Batman in the background, like, he looks terrible. So $1.50, I might just sell this for $1.50. Like, I was like, man, that's a cool looking Huntress cover. But once I got it home, like, man, that's a terrible looking Batman. So it's like, yeah, why not? So there we go, $1.50. Got this for $4. Green Lantern #20. First Jessica Cruz. So I have the black and white. I think it's like a 1 in 25 variant, maybe something like that. But I was like, yeah, for $4, I'll pick up the regular cover. What's up, Comics with Beeler? Thanks for making it, man. So $4, first appearance of Jessica Cruz, and the end of the Jeff Johns run. Absolutely love this issue. If you guys haven't checked it out, check this one out if you guys like Jeff Johns as a Green Lantern. He actually, it's a little giant sized. It's got that square bound side, so you know you're going to get a nice huge read out of this. But he actually gives a nice ending to his run. I'm surprised they actually let him make an ending. So it's weird seeing like Kyle Rayner gets an ending, and you kind of see like an epilogue for all the other Green Lanterns. So it's pretty cool. And then of course it goes on with, I can't remember the guy's name, but I heard it sucked, so I stopped collecting at 21. But nonetheless, this is a great issue. I know some people pick it up for speculation purposes, but definitely crack this open and read it. It's a really good read. It's like John's Comics with Kids. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for making it. He says, good GL book. Looking for that myself. Yeah, definitely pick it up if you see it. It's a phenomenal read. This is another one I have the variant of, but I didn't have the regular cover. So I figured for $1.50, I'd pick up Batman and Robin issue 1. This is the one where you have the Dick Grayson version of Batman and the evil, stupid Damian Robin so teaming up. So they have like a very good chemistry in this Grant Morrison run. So definitely want to make sure I got this regular edition of it for $1.50. So another good read. I know people spec on this one too, but crack this one open. It's a great read, guys. Can't recommend that one enough either. Then I also picked up Amazing Spider-Man #1. This one was $3. I think this one can be found cheaper, but I was like, yeah, why not? So people are starting to spec a little bit more on Cindy Moon / Silk, and I believe if it's not her first appearance, it's a cameo. She wasn't Silk yet, but the character, I think Cindy Moon, appears in this one. So like for $3, I mean, it's a little jacked up in the corner there. Not the best condition in the world, but for $3, I figure I'd pick it up. So why not? I might regret it later or be able to give it to somebody who actually wants it. But while I was collecting those in those bins, I overheard one of the salesmen in there talking about Ninja Turtles. And I was like, oh, how come no one's bought these turtles yet? So when I hear turtles, you guys probably guess I kind of like Ninja Turtles. So my ears kind of peaked. My ears are burning. So as soon as I see him kind of walk off, I got to go over and look at the bin the guy's talking about. Because if the salesman who's pricing the stuff, these prices, as surprise the stuff isn't sold, I'm like, I got to go check it out now and see what he's thinking. So I go over there. I start flipping through, and the guy immediately comes back. He's just like, you're looking for those turtles, huh? I'm like, you got any of the old turtles? He's like, no, it's the IDW stuff. And he's telling me how good a read it was. And I'm just like, you know what? For cover price, I'll pick him up. But he's just like, just so you know, I got an issue 1 behind the counter. It's $10 if you want it. It's there. I'm just okay. So I picked these up. So I got Ninja Turtles 2, and this is probably going to be my reading as I go to bed tonight because I do have to work early in the morning, and I really do want to read these. This is the IDW run that Kevin Eastman pretty much wrote himself. So this is issue 2, and these are all cover price. Issue 3, issue number 4, issue 5, and then issue 6, which is a little beat up on the side, but whatever. I do actually want to read these. So when the guy says like, hey, just go over to the counter, let them know I sent you. They're going to be in a short box. Let them know you can look in that short box. So when I go to a store and someone tells me I can look at the stuff behind the counter, you better believe I'm going to look at the stuff behind the counter no matter what. But first, I want to see who else has joined us in the chat here. So let's see. Okay, John's Comics with Kids said, just posted my video for your contest. Uplink as the comment works. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. I'll definitely check that out and look for it. Thanks for doing the contest, which I guess this is good enough time. I did leave a link to my contest down below if you guys are interested in watching that and seeing what the prizes are. I still got a nice stack of books. I actually added a book on Sunday during my live stream to that. I'll keep adding books. So, and I don't know if I mentioned this before. It's open worldwide. I'll pay wherever we got to send the thing. So if someone like, I just saw Escargot T80, if he wants to participate, which by the way, thanks for making it, man. If he wants to participate, if he wins, I'll ship it to him. I don't care. Looks like Symphonic Elk has also joined. Thanks for making it, man. He says, tune in just in time for Turtles. And then Poor Man's Comics is asking when Wolf Blitz is going to make a video. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for Roman Curtis to start showing some of the stuff they've been winning on these auctions. So that's how I got started, guys. I mean, I won nice auctions. Everyone's like, make a video so people know you exist. So it was actually Who Dat. Who Dat was like, make a video because people think you're a bot. I'm like, well, I'm not a bot. I have stuff everywhere. I'm a collector. So that's how I got started. Hey, I didn't have a camera either, guys. I had this phone in my pocket, and it kind of started a downward spiral from there. So I just would use this phone. I'd tilt it up against something, and that's how I got started. So I'm pretty sure most everybody has a smartphone now. So I guess there's my push/influence for the day. So you guys came to see the books instead of me ramble. So I'll get into the rest of my story about half-price books, because everybody knows I love half-price books. So anyway, I go get this Turtles, which there's Turtles issue 1. It was $10. I paid a bit much for it, maybe. The guy was saying it was worth a bit more. I guess he was trying to say it was worth 20 online. Sure, whatever. I just wanted to read at this point because I actually have been kind of interested in this run because it's gone on so long. The only reason it's probably gone on that long is because it's been good and successful, and I haven't heard anyone talking about it. So it's like, if nothing else, I want to pick up the first run of it and make my own decision for myself. So I'm like, yeah, for 20 or $10, I'll definitely pick it up just because it's going to buy me a ticket to look in that short box. So I go to the counter. I'm like, hey, the guy says you guys have this in a short box. I was kind of expecting them to just get this one out and give it directly to me. The guy's like, if you want to come around the counter, I'm just going to set the whole box for you to flip through. I'm like, sweet. That sounds great. So I go through the box, and there's a few things. Like the guy's hyping up the Death of Donatello, which is also $10. So I'm like, cool, but if I'm spending $10 on this book, I really don't want to completely break bank and get another $10 book, especially since I haven't read the previous most of the run, because I think that was issue 41 or something. What's up, Gomez? He says keep drinking. So there you go, toast, Gomez. Sorry, guys, it's hot out. So I keep flipping through, and there's some decently priced stuff. I think it was their box. They wanted to hold back stuff, so when they got paid, they wanted to buy this stuff, or at least one dude did. I don't know, but there's some decent things in this book. Like I said, I'd already got like that whole first stack I showed. I spent like 60 plus, maybe even close to $70 the first store I went to on this trip. So I didn't want to go top price books and break the bank again, because hey, we got community auctions to bid on, guys. But anyway, I rolled across this for $5. And if you guys looked at the thumbnail, you could probably guess what this is. And it is a little damaged, I'll be honest, but for this book for $5, you don't pass it up. So I found this in the box. It's priced $5. So I'm like, okay. So I just put it in the middle of the pile. Don't know if this guy wants me to have it. He might be waiting for payday or something like that. So I'm like, cool, whatever. Just put it in the middle of the pile. I'll go check out. Maybe they haven't updated the price or something yet. Whatever. So I go check out. They ring it up. $5. I'm like, cool, sweet. I get ready to go leave, and the guy calls me over. He's like, hey, man, what's your name? I tell him my name, just because, after we got talking about Turtles and talking about, we talked about the Green Lantern and Spider-Man and everything. He just introduced himself. A really nice salesman, like top notch. He knew his stuff. So that was really cool. But I don't know if you want me to have this book for $5. And that book is Omega Man #3. So I got the first appearance of Lobo, $5, just because it was one of those behind the counter short boxes they let me flip through. Like I said, I'm guessing if they really didn't want me to buy this, they would have just got the one comic out and gave it directly to me. But you kind of open Pandora's box in front of me. I'm gonna look in Pandora's box and get what I want. So I already got Mylar and everything, but as you guys can probably see, it is a nice chunk out of the bottom cover there. But besides that, I mean, it looked like there's a little bit of some sort of moisture damage. It's on the very corner of the book there. It kind of goes throughout. But other than that, like, nothing wrong with the spine at all. Pretty perfect. If it wasn't for this thing, it'd be gradable, honestly. But nonetheless, with all the stuff that's probably getting ready to happen with Lobo and that stuff, I would have kicked myself 10 times over if I didn't get this for $5. Like, I think anyone in this chat and anyone in the community would definitely opt all over this for $5. So definitely worth driving the hour to go to Half Price Books and a comic shop to get this book. That's for sure. So yeah, I always thought it kind of looked like Metamorpho a little bit on this costume. So definitely worth driving to half price books. And they're still putting stuff out. They had a long box I wish I could have went through, but I figured I wouldn't press my luck further than I did because honestly, I guess getting this for $10 is an extremely good deal too. I haven't priced this one online yet. But they're saying this is a $20 book minimum all day too, which this one needs to be pressed. I don't think I mentioned that. It's got some non-color breaking ticks all across the spine. So I think if I got this pressed, it'd be a phenomenal copy too. But $15 for these two books, I definitely can't complain. Let's see what else we got to chat. Oh, we got Tacoma Comics. I don't think I've shouted him out yet. He says, good find, I'll be back. Let's see what else we got going on. Saying hi to each other. I got you on Team Up Tuesday, says Gomez. Tacoma says, I'm homeless and I own 10 comics that are not in storage. Uh-oh, that's not good. Poor man says they should bring back that costume. Tacoma says, why was there no 80s porno titled Pandora's Box? You know, there probably was. Who knows? Symphonic Elk says, I'd buy it and then give it away because I'm such a nice person. Yeah, I can attest. Symphonic Elk is a phenomenal and nice person. He's still... I always thank him every time I mention Ultimate Spider-Man #1, which he gave away. I can't believe anyone would give away an Ultimate Spider-Man #1. So once again, thank you, Symphonic Elk. I always have to say that. See, Rowan Curtis asked where the steampunk variants are. Don't have any steampunk variants. I've seen them before, though. I do not have any. Symphonic Elk says he was joking, but I wasn't. Symphonic Elk is a very nice guy, and he has some very generous books to give away on his channel daily or weekly. All right. So the last thing I kind of wanted to cover, I apologize. I can run and get the hardcovers real quick, I guess, if you guys want to see them. But I actually had a question on my last live stream. And instead of typing it in and answering it, I decided, hey, why not just throw it on this live show? See what you guys think. That way you guys can put in your input, and I can give my input instead of having to type in this big long paragraph. But the question came from Comics Addiction. I recommend checking out his channel, by the way. He actually started his first live stream last night. I would have watched it more, but I had to be up at 4:30 in the morning, kind of like I do tomorrow. But I guess he had a count. He ranked all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies from 20 to 1. So some cool thoughts on his channel and his live stream last night. But after that, I guess he sent me a message overnight, and his question was, awesome books. We were talking about 90s Batman. And he says he's wanting to collect from 2 to 300. I've always debated whether or not 90s Batman is good. So he's wondering my thoughts on it. And I'm kind of the same way. Like, I'm just not a huge 90s Batman guy. I'm sorry. I appreciate the Chuck Dixon stuff. Like, he at least got Nightwing into his own title and Robin into his own title for the Tim Drake Robin. So that was cool. At least they branched out the Batman world, I guess, quite a bit. And then, of course, Catwoman had her own title and so on and so forth. But I was just not a fan of post-Nightfall and just the whole Azrael Batman thing. Like, you kind of knew where it was going once it got started. So I appreciate the people that are. I definitely don't fault them for liking that because, I mean, it was the 90s. DC had different versions of every one of the characters in the early 90s. So, of course, Batman had to follow suit just like Wonder Woman did. Just like Superman, of course, he had 4 versions of himself. Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Flash did it first in the 80s with Wally West taking over the mantle. So, like I said, I didn't collect a lot of Batman in the 90s. It didn't appeal to me at the time. Where it really took off for me was the mid-2000s and early 2000s. Hold that thought. I'm just going to go get the books. I'll keep talking. So I got 3 books I want to highlight. And in my opinion, they're pinnacle mid-2000s Batman/Batman family, I guess you could say. So let me know if you guys have read and appreciated these reads. So the first one, of course, this is one of the ones that got me back into collecting books. This is the absolute edition of it. It's the Batman Hush from Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. For me, it doesn't get any better than this. They basically let Jim Lee Jeff Loeb just threw all the villains and stuff at the wall, new characters, and Jim Lee got to draw them. What's not to like about that? It actually turned out to be a pretty phenomenal story. So if you guys are just like, if there's some weird person out there in the community who's like, I really want to start collecting Batman. I've never read Batman before. Besides the 80s stuff, if you're looking to start in the early 2000s, you got to start with Hush, in my opinion. Absolutely phenomenal read. This one's, like I said, this is one of the books that got me back in the comics, so I had to get an absolute edition of it. So I love that. And then they just did an excellent job spreading out on the Batman family, in my opinion, which I think one of them's kind of late 2000s, but I still count it as 2000s. But first, I'll talk about Gotham Central. So I absolutely love this book. Basically, if you guys don't know the premise of it, imagine like a book about Gotham City where Batman is not the main character, but you see the repercussions of Batman existing in Gotham without him being the central character. So this follows, basically a precinct of police in Gotham, whether or not some of them are supporters of Batman, some of them don't really care for Batman's tactics. But if you guys, especially if you're fans of like Renee Montoya, and those type of characters, check this book out. It's not even really centralized on Jim Gordon. You think it would be if it's about, the police in Gotham, but it's not. There's like a character, I believe his name's Detective Driver. He actually has a pretty cool arc. And then the other cool thing they do in this book is you get to see the cops have to deal with some of the supervillains that they think Batman is responsible for creating. Like there's a really cool arc. I believe the first arc, if I remember correctly, because it's been about a decade since I've read this, have to deal with Mr. Freeze. They just find like a frozen corpse in an apartment, and obviously the first place they're going to look is Victor Freeze. So that's a cool investigation. And then since Greg Rucka and Ed Brubaker wrote this, you get to see Renee Montoya's big character arc where she comes out as gay, and the whole police precinct is, not taking it the best, obviously, and, she's having to deal with that harassment in the workplace. So a very deep read is Gotham Central. So I recommend this very highly. I actually got this one signed by Greg Rucka too. He says, "Protect and serve, Greg Rucka." So I thought that was a pretty cool signature. So another phenomenal, I believe, I don't know when this came out exactly, probably early to mid 2000s. So just another phenomenal Gotham City read. Then the last one has to, speaking of kind of Renee Montoya's arc, Batwoman Elegy. Once again, Greg Rucka knocked it out of the park with this one. If you guys are trying to look for those 52 spec books, I think it's week 7 and week 11, which is first Kate Kane. And the first Kate Kane is Batwoman full appearance. Those are good reads too. Obviously, I believe Greg Rucka was the main writer behind those. But dang, he killed it with Kate Kane, in my opinion. There's a reason why this character's come in the CW series. Check this one out. Not only does Greg Rucka knock it out of the park, you've got J.H. Williams has some phenomenal art in this. See if I can find a splash panel or something to show real quick. But yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite reads. I think I got somewhere behind those short boxes. I got it hanging on my wall. I liked it so much. Yeah, there's like the first big splash panel right there. So just an example, pretty much what every issue looks like on the interior. So good read, good art. Can't recommend this one enough. Obviously, the new 52 is good for Batman, but I kind of wanted to highlight a little bit before the new 52. So there's 3 hardcovers I recommend. And actually, I think Gotham Central, I don't know if it's still in print. This is an omnibus form now, too, so it's pretty much the entire run. Look for that one if you guys want to check this out, because I can't recommend that one enough. All right, let's see what the chat has to say and start wrapping things up. Looks like Elk is out. He says, "No, I pat on my own back. I'm going to bed later, y'all." Later, Elk, if you're watching this on Rewind. Stay Puff says he loves Gotham Central. He met Rucka last year. He's very nice. Yeah, he was super nice. We got him super early in the morning, so it looked like he just rolled out of bed and got there. So all things considered, he was super nice. Like I said, actually, I didn't show it. He signed this Batwoman, too. Like, he's putting, like, these nice things inside all of my hardcovers. So he says, "Live with pride, serve with honor, love with courage, best Greg Rucka." So even if he was tired, a little grumpy, he was still doing all these, like, really nice signatures for these hardcovers. So Stay Puff asked, "Have you read Black Mirror by Scott Snyder?" Watch one of my previous videos. I've actually got the hardcover signed over there, signed by Snyder and Jock. And recently, I just got an eBay pickup. It was missing one issue. I got it for $80. It actually came with $8.80. So yeah, I absolutely love Black Mirror as well. I wish I would have collected it when it originally hit the stands, but I was a little bit, like I said, man, I was a little bit late to the Scott Snyder ball game. I picked up Batman New 52 issue 1, where I picked up my first Snyder Batman book. But yeah, in terms of Jock's art, oh my God. And one artist who really gets overlooked in that run is Francisco Francavilla. That guy, I think he's on par with Jock in that run, honestly. Like, a lot of people focus on Jock and his like awesome Joker cover and the cover for 871, which is a phenomenal cover. But Francavilla doesn't get enough love too. He had some great work in that Black Mirror run as well. So another excellent Batman read. Other than that, just want to plug my 200 subscriber contest one more time. Links in the description below. So far, I've got 5 people that have entered in, and I guess I have another one to look for after this video. So I put plenty of time on this. September 23rd is the deadline, so I figured why not make it like a month and a half, 2 months. There's always so many contests going on, and poor man's likes to procrastinate, so I figured I'd give him some time to procrastinate. So there we go. So like I said, if you guys have entered and don't see your name on this list right here, let me know, hit me up, all that good stuff. We'll put you on there. So I thank everybody who's been watching the content I've been putting out recently. I believe we're going to have another Comic Core on Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. I put a link for the Comic Core's new channel down below as well. Please sub them up. Let's see how fast we can get that channel to 100 plus subs, because we got a lot of growing to do on that channel. Ever since all that garbage happened 2 weeks ago, I missed one episode and anarchy happens apparently. But you guys, most of you probably know the story behind that. Reviews from the Batcave. Basically, we've transitioned now into the Comic Core exclusive channel, so please check that out. We have a blast every Friday night, 10 Eastern. Please sub that channel up. Turn the alerts on so you guys know when it goes live Friday, or watch it on the rewind. We always have a blast for about 90 minutes to 2 hours every Friday. I believe I'm going to be on the Legends live auction this Saturday as well. That'll be, I think, 10 p.m. this Saturday, Eastern time, of course. So let's see. I think I have some books I might be auctioning off right next to me here. I just grabbed these, so I haven't even thought about prices and everything. But I got a lot of Spider-Man doubles I'm probably just going to give back to the community. I've just accumulated over the last month or so. So I got a first Cletus Cassidy. I don't need 2 of. Let's see what else I got in the stack. I got those awesome Eric Larson covers I'm probably going to sell off. This is 346. Now, of course, I have to have a 347 in there, so I'll be selling this one off too. And then, like I said, it's just fillers at that point. So I got 350, 353. So if you guys are thinking about needing Spider-Man, hit me up, let me know. 354 and 355. Like I said, I don't even know how I accumulated all these doubles in the last month or so. Sometimes you just get a good deal, and then you get another good deal, and then you have 2 of everything somehow. I do have the second and third appearance of Carnage I'll probably be selling off too. So it's 362, 363. And I'll probably break these up in about 2 or 3 lots, maybe. We'll see. Like I said, I literally just saw this pile laying there and grabbed it. Then I had one of the 90s-ified 365 newsstand for what that's worth. So there we go. So I'll probably break that up into 2 lots. Like I said, I'll probably have like the second and third appearance of Carnage in 1 lot, and then the Eric Larson stuff in another lot. So there we go. I don't even know what I'm going to start that off at yet. I just happened to grab those. See those there. Maybe I'll sell off. I don't know. Maybe I'll just throw this in a lot randomly. I got some extra Nightfall comics. I just got done talking about how I didn't really care 100% about Nightfall. So why not sell some of that stuff? Nope, not some of those G.I. Joes. Sorry. With that being said, let's see. Joker M21 says, great live show. Thanks again, man, Joker. Just one more time, I want to shout out the New York Warriors. Had a phenomenal auction last Saturday. They had some great deals. I think I got like 3 auctions from those guys. So if you guys halfway like the auctions at all, check out New York Warriors. They have some of the best deals you can find in the community. I can't say that enough. Chad from Reviews from the Batcave says, sorry, late for the show. Just got done plugging the Comic Core, man, which once again, Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern, Comic Core. Sub up that channel. It's in the link below. So if you guys haven't subbed, look below and link it up. Sub up. Let's get that channel over 100 so we get some viewership back to that, because like I said, we have a blast every single Friday night. Stay Puff, thank you, man, for making it. He says, great show. I appreciate all the compliments, so thank you guys so much. Let's go over the chat one more time. Thank everybody for making it. Looks like I'm going on an hour again, rambling, all that stuff. So about time for my bedtime after mowing and working since 4:30 this morning. I want to thank Wolf Blitz for making it. Joker M21, Big E's Comics, home of the New York Warriors. Thanks for making it, guys. Roman Curtis, thanks as usual. Nice cover, bro. Made it, said hi. Who Dat Comics and Movies. Always got to show him some love. Poor Man's Comics. Next week, man, I want to send your stuff out, Poor Man. So send me an address. I'll send you something next week because I'm starting vacation after Friday. Once again, Wolf Blitz. I guess he's calling somebody his nemesis. I missed that earlier. Probably Roman. Stay Puff 1983. He's always super friendly and awesome in the live stream chats. Comics with Bueller, fellow Comic Core buddy. Puts comics out puts videos out every single day. One of my favorite channels in the whole community. John's Comics with Kids. I'll be subbing him up. The first time I've seen him in my live chat. So thanks, John's Comics with Kids, for making it. Super cool. Symphonic Elk, one of the friendliest guys in the community. Thanks for Ultimate Spider-Man #1 again, Symphonic Elk. If you're watching this, Escargot T80, he says, what's up? Another awesome YouTuber there. Gomez, he's always called me Wood Hard. So always enjoy Gomez's energy. It's like he drinks like 10 Monster Energies before going on his channel. So he's got an awesome channel going on as well. Tacoma Comics, love his channel. He pretty much has the same collecting style I do, I think. So I always respect the comics he gets, and he always has great opinions and likewise perspectives on the stuff that I have. And then Wolf Blitz lastly says, Poor Man and me battled it out in Legends last. Oh, that's right. You guys had that huge battle last auction. That's right. Yeah, I guess you guys are nemesis now. So and then hopefully Chad's still in here. I got a toothpick. Spoiler warning if you guys are going to watch Comic Core on Friday. I want you guys to watch Comic Core so I can tell Chad to put his face right here in the camera, and I'm going to flick my toothpick right in the camera. So I went and purposely got a toothpick this week just to flick at my camera. Oh, it looks like the Comic Core is in the chat. So there we go. So maybe that's Chad. Who knows? It could be Jeremy or somebody with the password. So an entity called Comic Core is in the chat. So happy Oktoberfest to everybody. Thank you guys so much for another great live show. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely raise Ramon him on Friday. So at least tune in for that. Who knows when that's going to happen. Maybe I didn't bring out the hat this stream because I was making my head itch the other day. So probably need to watch this. But there you go. There's the WCW hat everyone was a fan of last time. So that being said, my back hurts. I'm tired. Cheers. Have a good week, guys.